Hello YouTube once again. This here Studio Dead. I am the Iceman, as you all know, and right next to me is Drake. Deadman couldn't be here right now. He had to, go to the bathroom or somewhere. See, now, what we're going to talk about here is The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. That's right. We're finally discussing it. It's the game that we know you all want to know about. Ocarina of Time, one of the, if not the greatest game ever made. Nintendo really brought out a masterpiece when it came to...
And that, folks, was Deadman. Now, since it's kind of a touchy subject, I guess we're going to go ahead and go to our next subject and skip that last one. Our next subject is actually going to be a review on Bioshock and Bioshock 2. Now, Bioshock brought a couple of good things to the gaming community when it comes to the FPS systems. Now, one thing that it brought was a futuristic look of what the past thought, especially when you brought it underwater. Not only that, but also the intelligence they brought into the game. Now, the intelligence of the game is actually get off him! It's this guy's specialty. Now, take this, calm down, and aspirin.
It's precise. He'll be joining us later.
Still alive? Okay.
He's alive. Anyways.
He'll come back later.
One of the things about Bioshock was it brought a severe angle of intelligence both to the FPS genre and back to gaming itself. Let's face it, when Bioshock came out, intelligence was not lacking, but definitely down. Now, the thing about Bioshock was it brought forth not only a view of, modern America, Americana icons such as, the beloved posters of the 1950s. As well as that is that the complete game was based upon a book by Ayn Rand called Atlas Shrugged. Ken Levine, again.
Awesome.
Thank you. Really, thank you. Now, believe it or not, this game in itself is the whole reason the Deadman owns an Xbox 360. That's right. I was content with my PS2 until this game came out. Now, it didn't exactly change anything monumental as far as controls or, weapons, so on and so forth, but what it did give us was rich environments, absolutely gorgeous sets,
Beautiful
animations,
scenery. Oh.
beautiful scenery, a good look at what underwater life, thank you, might have been like. Now, the thing about it is that, if you've played Bioshock, you know who Andrew Ryan is, the whole thing is, Andrew Ryan is actually, we are and Ryan mixed up. But anyways, this game in itself was phenomenal. I loved it. I've played it 100 times. I've almost 100%ed on it on the achievement system, but let's face it, that game on hard is hard. Really hard.
Hard, you understated the name of that. It should have been either insane or good luck.
I would have gone with good luck. Now, anyways, the thing about the game is that especially with the outdated control system, it honestly, when a game...
You want an ice pack, man?
Yeah.
He'll be fine. Don't worry about
just
it.
give him a bit.
The game itself, the game system, brought not only extremely fluid controls to a very old system, but a very updated set of skills, not to mention the plasmids.
Oh, that's actually what dragged me into that game, because there was nothing more fun than seeing a guy in a puddle of water and you're just like, you know what, lightning. Yeah, the only other people who can do it that good were the Sith.
I say Jedi. Anyways, the plasmids itself brought a unique two-handed system to a FPS genre. Granted, we have the one weapon, two weapons setup, which is just we're switching between. But the fact that this game actually went out of its way to make sure that you knew that it wasn't one weapon, two weapon, it was right hand, left hand, whiskey.
And, well, there.
Now,
So you think you'll be all right to be in the video, man?
I'm here, aren't I?
well,
Yeah, might as well.
now, the thing about it is that this game went up against a number of FPS shooters when it first debuted as far as the category for best game of the year. Unfortunately, it did not win. Reason being, and I was on the boards myself, and there was one person that brought it up, and it was the multiplayer aspect. However, we at the Studio Dead do not believe that a game should stand on the multiplayer aspect unless it is specifically made for
multiplayer purpose only.
A game should only stand upon the single player aspect for its the main unit. It's what sells your product. Multiplayer is great. It's wonderful.
But you can only go so far.
Precisely.
Now, the whole criticism of Bioshock 1 and not having any multiplayer at all, you know what, I'm sorry. I played the game time and time again. I've never once wished for a multiplayer aspect. I don't know about these guys.
There was no need for it to be on the first one because, I mean, he designed the game as it was supposed to be for a story, not for a fuckfest.
Absolutely. The fact that it didn't win Game of the Year just because it didn't have multiplayer is an absolute disgrace. We play games to have fun, not multiplayer or just multiplayer.
Now don't get us wrong. As we said before, we love multiplayer. We love challenging other players to the skills and sets. But if you're going to judge a game solely based on the fact that it does not have multiplayer, I'm sorry, man. Put down your controller.
Quit.
Do not be part of this gaming community, because you know what? Games are supposed to be telling a story. And thank you, Bioshock, thank you, Mr. Levine, for giving us one hell of a story. Seriously, each time I play it, it still rips my heart out.
Andrew Ryan for the win.
Yep.
Now, this is only the first part of the video, so we're going to let you take a little break. We're going to show you exactly what happens when we argue at the Studio Dead before we come back and talk about Bioshock 2.
Oh, yes.
He means how we settle those arguments.
There's beef now.
There's definitely beef
Stay
now.
tuned.
Alright guys, Drake here. Now I'm sure you guys have been wondering about our arguments and how we settle our arguments. Well, you know what? We do it the old-fashioned style. Sword fights.
Oh yes. Oh yes. This is going to be a glorious day in the history of the Studio Dead. Because once and for all, I'm challenging Deadman to his life. That's right. In my hand I have the Sword of the MacLeod. The Highlander, baby. What?
Zeiss.
What?
Zeiss, that's not the Sword of the MacLeod. It's just a sword with a dragon on the end of it.
Sword of the MacLeod.
Oy.
Oh, that's right. Oh yes, I can feel it already. There can be only one, and I will be the one.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't. Zeiss.
Fuck it, you win.
Chalk that up to a win. 300 experience points. And that's usually what ends up happening whenever we try to settle our arguments.
How could the Sword of the MacLeod fail?
It was just a sword with a dragon on the bottom. That's why
It's the Sword of the MacLeod!
Anyways,
remember, it was a replica, so it didn't.
back to the games
not your
themselves.
fault.
Bioshock 2.
Not your fault.
Now, Bioshock 2 in itself was pretty much an expansion on the first game. It was awesome. It was incredible. It gave us yet another story to be involved in. And on top of that, even further expanded the plasmid system so you could have dual wielding. Let's face it, we all love dual wielding. You just can't go wrong with it. Now, here's the thing, is that yes, it was essentially an expansion. We really didn't need it, but it did give them one thing.
It gave them what they wanted, and that is
You got your multiplayer. You happy?
Seriously.
sucked.
Sucked. I'm sorry.
Horrible.
I played on that. I played on the multiplayer. I am not impressed whatsoever. So all you fucks out there whining for multiplayer on a game that is based for single player, we got something to say to you.
Story.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
Double digits.
Now, Bioshock 2 still expanded on Rapture. Wonderful, wonderful Rapture. the beautiful scenery, and being part of a Big Daddy, you can actually walk outside of the ocean life.
And that was actually a lot of fun, because I mean, it gave you a better look at what the actual underwater city looked like. It gave you another view from the outside in, which only the first one only gave you from the inside out. So it gave you a really good perspective on how big Rapture really was.
Not to mention, you were the Big Daddy, a big daddy that was actually fast, flexible, and capable of self-preservation. What more could you ask for?
Yep.
So at least you wasn't one of these slow-moving monstrosities.
Now, two things. One I have to cover is that you guys took the Big Daddies, incorporated them back into this game, which in the first game was in itself one hell of an opponent.
Yes.
Really was. Shit, you had to plan your way to beat a Big Daddy. So, and you took that and further expanded it with the Big Sister.
Oh, God, the Big Sister. Whenever you heard her scream, you shat yourself. Sorry, I know I did.
Oh, well, I didn't. I did something else. Oh, yeah.
He creamed himself. Let's just continue.
Thank you.
Jizz in the pants, baby.
Anyways. God, that's wrong.
So many levels.
The second thing about this is that not only did you, for all you assholes out there claiming that you didn't feel like a Big Daddy to the last part of the game, shut up. Go fuck yourself.
Seriously, you had the big drill.
Yeah.
What more do you want?
He got the drill, had extra, and he kicked ass.
Not to mention the plasmids.
Wait, I mean, did you want 2K to send you a Big Daddy suit along with the game?
Yeah, of course. Why not?
Sure.
Or when Connect came out, you know what? Hey, take a picture. Your face is in the Big Daddy suit.
Yeah, great. People going on with fish bulbs on their heads. That's something.
Anyways, to all the people wishing for multiplayer, as far as the aspect goes, for a game built for single player, use, go to hell. I mean, seriously, these games do not need a multiplayer aspect. Now, Bioshock Infinite coming out next year. I cannot wait. Jesus, I cannot wait. Mr. Delight, if you're paying attention, come to our channel. Come see us. We'll fly you in just to come talk to us about this game.
We will worship the ground you walk on.
I already do. Seriously. You know that weird dude behind you? Yo.
Songbird? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, I can't wait to face that thing. Oh, yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful games. Extraordinary games. Bioshock 2 expanded on Rapture, expanded on the gameplay, expanded on the plasmids. And you know what? For those of you, again, I cannot say it enough times, shut up about the multiplayer. Seriously, play the game for the first person perspective. Play it not only for the first person's perspective, but for the first only player perspective. The single mode in the story was just incredible. Now the first game gave you one hell of a twist. Mm-hmm. One hell of a twist. Would you kindly? Anybody who played the game knows that phrase.
Look, people, it all comes down to this. What would you rather have? A slapped-on multiplayer or a great single-player experience? That's all we're really saying. I mean, Bioshock 2's multiplayer was slapped on and look what happened. Look, people, stop asking for it, okay? If it is a multiplayer on a Bioshock Infinite, great. We'll play it, we'll experience it. And we love the game, but we will say if it sucks. So, Bioshock Infinite, if you're going to do multiplayer, 2K,
good luck.
Good luck.
Seriously.
I just say don't touch it. Just keep your single player and keep your story. Screw what everybody else says. You've got 3 awards waiting for you already.
Oh, you know it.
Now, here's the Studio Dead signing off once again. Stay tuned for our next video. Our next video, we're going to cover something everybody played. And I do mean everybody.
Oh, yes.
And
if you haven't played it, you know about it.
Grand
Theft
Auto.
Thanks for watching. Stay tuned.